Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be looking at BZM's Mid Bristleback. Mid Bristleback is something that I'm a big fan of. I think it's super underrated, and there's a couple of reasons for that. I mean, number one, the hero is just a good hero in the mid lane. I would say its main flaw in the side lanes is that certain lanes with kill combos pose a real threat to Bristle. But Bristle, against the majority of the mid caps, does perfectly fine, and actually I would say this hero is winning if it's against a melee matchup. For instance, if it's against Ember, I think this hero does well against Ember. Kunkka, the very popular mid beast, which is coming to the meta, I think it does fine in the Storm. Just kind of any of these melee heroes. It does struggle against certain range heroes, like it can be a little annoying to lane against things like Quap at some point, but in general, it even is fine into range heroes. On top of that, go sign up to the gameleap website, guys. I'm posting new content over there almost every day, and I'll see you there. Here's the thing. Against melee heroes, you use the quills to fight for every single last hit, like hardcore fight for every single CS. Against range heroes, you can just spam quills to push in the lane so that you don't have to interact. And so yeah, you just have kind of either option. You can play to push in the wave with quills, just kind of kill all the melee creeps, or you can play to fight for all the CS. Like for instance here, generally Bristleback is really good at last hitting, because any CS that you can't get with an auto, you can just get with an auto plus a quill, or just a quill. Now somehow he ends up the first wave with only one CS. Like he didn't get that range creep, I think he didn't get that creep either, like, oh lord. I mean, this rarely happens, I'm sure he was pretty tilted about this. Didn't get that one either, oh my lord. One CS. In the sorry, 2 CS in the first minute is super uncharacteristic. And let me tell you, if you pick up this hero, it will feel very, very easy to last hit. Now in terms of your first item, it's going to be a bottle. Skill build, it's going to be W and E. You never really want your Q, it just feeds too many stick charges, and you're not going to really kill anyone. I mean, occasionally people might mess up and you'll kill them if they're a melee hero, but you know, in general, this is pretty standard. You want to be the seeing red facet. This facet, I would argue, it's just a bit better for, you know, like a mid bristle where, you know, you want to farm camps with it. It's better for the laning stage, just in general, kind of getting off those extra quills. It's better. So yeah, especially against these melee heroes that you might fight a bit, it's much better to have seeing red. And you'll kind of see in a clip like this, right, minute 2 here, it's very, very easy to lane because he pops his quill as the lane meets, his bottle's coming, so you don't really have any mana problems. And that's another reason why this hero is a good mid hero. In the side lane, you have severe mana problems. You have to be very careful about how you're using quills, or you have to spend gold on mangoes, which is just kind of an inefficient item. Where something like Bottle is just such a strong Dota item that you're more than happy to buy it, because you're also buying it for rune control and for HP. So it's just so much better than having to buy things like mangoes. But yeah, you can kind of just push in the wave with your quills very, very quickly. For instance here, he's kind of zoning out the Kunkka, just being annoying because the Kunkka had a bunch of quill stacks. Right, gets the range creep with it, perfect CS, because again, most melee heroes cannot contest you once you've built up a couple quills. Backpack his branches, pop his bottle. Actually does, wow. I don't think the Kunkka had to TP there, but forces a TP. And that's the thing, a lot of mid players probably just don't really know how your hero works. Like, was he really gonna die there? Probably not. For his next item, he just picks up boots. If it's a good stick lane, you should buy a stick. Just not a good stick lane. Kunkka does not give stick charges, so no reason to buy a stick, but you should be buying stick in most lanes. After that, you buy boots. Then he actually queues up a windlace, which I'm a big fan of. We'll actually see if he completes this item. I think in general, Bristle's just a hero that, you know, you want to kite around the fight, you want to get on top of people, so movement speed is the name of the game. And you know, if you've been a fan of the gameleap channel, I've hyped up windlace for literally forever. Even before the item was hyper popular. Nowadays everyone buys it because everyone watches gameleap videos. But the reality is yeah, it's perfect on Bristle. After that, you're going to queue up treads. Typically, you would finish your wand at this point. After windlace, you'd buy wand. In some lanes, you want to buy raindrops. This is just not one of those games where you need any of these small items because, again, you're against the Kunkka. But you can't really go wrong with more mana regen on Bristle. You will always be able to find a way to use it to farm, to pressure. You know, it's good to have wand, good to have stick, good to have raindrops, but he's picking up the belt of strength. Just be a little bit tankier, right? Probably once Kunkka hits level 6, it's very nice to have. I would say it's probably actually nice to have raindrops, so maybe it's a decent idea, but yeah, buys a ward, plants it here, belt of strength, queuing up at the treads. And at this point, the main thing you're looking to do is kind of just push in the wave pre the minute 6 wave. Oh, they actually go for a dive. I mean, Kunkka is like some insanely tanky hero, so they're not able to take him down. No big deal. Quills out the way before the 6-minute rune. Very lucky haste rune. Now, typically with a haste rune, you can just go kill a side lane. This applies to basically every mid hero, as he's looking for a cheeky kill, but isn't going to find it. so he'll just relax in a moment from now. Pushes out the mid wave, and again, not my favorite usage of haste. Oh, he's actually going to come top with it. Yeah, okay. He comes top with it and just finds a kill, and this is generally what you do with haste. You just react to some sort of move. If anyone's pushed up in a wave, if you see anything happening, you should just instantly run to it, right? There's almost no downside, because if the play doesn't work or it looks bad, you can just run back to your lane, right? As he gets a little bit low, so not the cleanest fight. Picks up his magic wand, and again, don't skip items like wand on Bristle, guys, right? Just don't. It's just a hero that needs the survivability and needs the mana pool. Okay, so now that the laning stage has ended, his W is maxed out. He's going to contest the rune. Wow, what a save from the Tusk. That was sick. Phew. Wipe him on the goat. So he gets bailed out on the power rune. For sure. Hard bailed out. Looking for a bit of an engagement here, which, you know, totally fine. This hero definitely can fight as long as you build up a couple of goose stacks, a couple of W stacks. He's hitting for 160 at this point in the game. But in general, guys, this is actually not what you should do in your pubs. This is just because in the pro scene, people will put a heavy emphasis on fighting around the power runes, right? We saw the Doom show up, the Beast show up, everyone's showing up. Typically, you're kind of just 1v1ing, maybe 1v2ing, maybe 2v2ing the power rune, and then after that, you should just farm. So what should you farm, and why is Bristle mid so good at farming? Well, first of all, you get to drag these two camps together. Second of all, you get to drag these two camps together, and it's really convenient. A lot of mid heroes cannot actually farm these camps at the same time. As a result, it's pretty inefficient for them to even just go in that area. It doesn't make the most sense. But Bristle is so good at farming it, as Gunga bumps into him. Bristle is so good at farming it, and so it makes this hero, again, a better mid hero. The only thing I'd say about offlane Bristle is you do get access to these camps, which is also very, very good, and a reason that I am a fan of Bristle offlane as well, with the current neutral camp structure. But yeah, he's gonna push in the mid wave, off to the back camps, right? And typically you want to, I don't know if he misclicked here, I have to assume he misclicked. When you're farming camps, you want to goo the big creep. And the only reason he's not dragging the camps together here is he's trying to kill off the camp before the power rune spawns. So you goo the large creep, kill off insanely fast, and then you can contest the 6-minute rune. So that's great, right? If you go to farm the camp after the 30-second wave, so 8:30, 7:30, 9:30, if you go to farm one of those camps, you can kill it so fast that you can actually do it and then be here to receive the power rune. Unfortunately, he does not get it. Probably switch to strength treads. But he's a little bit too tanky. He doesn't go down. I'm gonna look to cut up the mid wave. BZM, such an aggressive player. He just knows. I watched this game in 1x speed before turning on OBS. This guy just knows his limits. Just some of the plays he makes of like running up hills, running into people. He's just such a strong player. His intuition is like just insanely good. And another nice thing about Bristleback is the fact that you take objectives very quickly. Kind of like Dragonite, or even Death Prophet, if you make a move to a lane, you can take the tower. And very easily at that, right? Your hero just hits so hard with quite a bit of attack speed due to the fact that you have Agi Treads, right? Which is what you should have on. If you're farming, you should be switching to Int for your spells and then Agi to hit, right? This is the most efficient way. And yeah, they're able to very, very quickly take down this tier 1 tower. As now he heads off to the triangle, probably going to farm up some stacks. Yeah, a little bit of help from the Coddle, so obviously getting carried a little bit from the Coddle here. What I will say, guys, there's 2 different builds you can do. So, and I would recommend giving both of them a shot. I think they're equally as good. He's going for Ags this game. I think the Ags build is particularly good with Coddle because of the fact that you get the cooldown refresh, which is really efficient. It's efficient for farming and it's efficient for fighting. However, I think mid Bristle with Vanguard is very, very legit. The reason why? You can play an incredibly high tempo with the levels that you're getting. Also, look at his skill build, right? 3 points in the E. Now going back for the goo. Reasonably standard. I mean, I think putting the 4th point in the E is like fine too. It lowers the damage threshold, which is really nice. But yeah, I'm a big fan of going Vanguard. And the reason why is even if you don't have stacks, with Vanguard, you destroy these camps. You farm them very efficiently, as even if there are no stacks. I think people have this bad mentality that this hero like only farms Ancients if it's stacked. It's just not the case. It's like super not the case. It's really efficient, especially with Vanguard. So you can go Vanguard and you can turn it into Halberd and play very, very high tempo. After Halberd, you go Shard, or you can go Ags into Shard. You basically always buy Shard second. It's just too damn good. With Coddle, I think it's as close as you can get to a no-brainer to buy your Shard. The reason why is because it lowers the cooldown, right? This combo is just hyper broken. But yeah, he's gonna farm up all the back camps, and again, you just have to feel it out as he looks for the shield rune, isn't gonna get it. Pushes the mid wave pretty close to his Ags. 15 minutes if you're going Ags is a very solid time. He has no kills and only 1 assist, so getting a 15-minute Ags is about what you want to aim for. And you can get it much earlier if you have kills. You can aim for 13, 14 if you have kills and assists. But he just doesn't have that this game. He didn't even get the tower last hit, so pretty standard 15-minute Ags. As typically, you would be helping in these plays, right? If you can get the Ags on the Torm time, or if you can have Vanguard and then Shard, you can tell your team, like, hey guys, I have Vanguard Shard, let's fight the Torm. Let's take the Torm. Because I think in pubs, people take the Torm very slowly, right? So you can probably take it at really any minute after 15. And Bristle is really great at it because armor reduction is the best way to kill the Tormentor, right? So it's another reason why this hero is just super good in this meta. So once you have Ags, if you decide to go this route, you shouldn't be afraid of using it to farm. It's definitely one of those items where people will think it's like my kill spell, and that's true, but it's so good at killing Ancients. For instance, we see him taking a stack here, which again, Soxa the GOAT, just being so aware of these types of small moves that just make a big difference for the cores, and so he takes up another stack, right? Not overly surprisingly. Coming in on his Shard. Actually, maybe he'll buy Glimmer before Shard this game. There's just a lot of magic damage. No, okay, he's going the standard build. Just picks up the Shard, and again, continuing to farm, not forcing too many moves, and this is the timing. So in terms of fighting, guys, Ags is not the timing. It's not the timing, it's Shard. The reason why? You kind of struggle to stick on top of people without the Shard. The Shard puts 2 Goo stacks in an AoE, and so it kind of just, and it's much higher cast range than a Q, right? It's 750, so you get an extra 100 range, and trust me, it makes a big difference in many cases. As you have to keep in mind, that cast range, it's 750, but the radius is 700, so the cast range is more like something around 1,000, right, for practical usage. And for his next item, he's going to pick up a Glimmer Cape, which is probably one of the best items you can buy. I think there's a lot of different things you can have. Again, you can kind of go that the Vanguard route, which I think is okay this game. It's definitely a decent Vanguard route. They have quite a bit of physical damage, but it definitely makes more sense to go the Glimmer Cape angle against Kunkka. It's an Ags Beastmaster. He's largely magical. It's a Jakiro to Muerta. And something like Ursa probably isn't exactly online yet. I mean, he does have his Blink. He's having a great game on the Ursa. But that hero very much is going to struggle to kill a Bristle in this game. All right, and this is the first turning point of the game. I mean, to be fair, the Razor did some insane amount of damage here, but I do think he, impacted the fight a lot. Unfortunately, he used his spells right before the fight broke out, so it wasn't the cleanest move, but did get recalled here. And on the recall, you do get that Chakra, which is why this combo is so damn good as his Shard is up. And the Shard is insanely OP, right? And I can't stress enough how good this Shard is, right? In this case, it actually, did that hit the Beast? No, okay, I don't think so. But 2 stacks of Goo, guys, how much armor reduction is 2 stacks of Goo? It's some insane number. So it's 3 base, so it's 9 armor reduction, which is like a 9. I mean, what a high number. Certain supports, that's all they have. And you're just getting rid of it. It's also applying a Quill stack. So he's a little bit afraid to go in here. There's just a lot of damage, but 3 stacks on the Kunkka. Again, that armor reduction against a hero that definitely has quite a bit of armor problems, even with the phase boots and the blade mail. And he's able to chase down Ursa. Almost gets the kill. But now he's starting to hit the Exodia point. So I would say the Giga timing for Bristle is minute 15 with the Shard, plus another item. That is when you are like hyper strong. And then you hit another major timing on your next HP item, because now people really can burst you. It's getting to the point where he's going to have a resistance item, and you want to combine a resistance item with an HP item. And the only real HP item of the patch, guys, is maybe BKB, but truly Sange and Yasha, right? The slow resistance, incredible this game. The status resistance, incredible in this game. Movement speed is insane on Bristle, because it's a percentage increase from Yasha, and you're combining that with the movement speed you get from Warpath. So Sange and Yasha is a insane no-brainer on this hero. Another reason why I'm a fan, he gets to buy Sange and Yasha, a very broken Dota item, even after its nerfs. And to me, it's kind of funny that he's buying the Yasha first. It goes to show how much he values the attack speed and the movement speed, because, I mean, this is a hero where you super want the health from Sange, because they're going to test the 21-minute room. That's a double wisdom. Double wisdom. Never like to see that. As, okay, they're going to go for a double gate play. And at this point, he can play very tempo, especially when he gets this Yasha. He's going to be running near close to haste movement speed at max Warpath stacks. Yeah, he's at, okay, so I'm capping a little bit. He's at 472 at max stacks, so maybe not as fast as I was saying. Glimmer Cape doesn't give him an extra 20 when it's activated, though, as he's going to go in here, drops the axe, poking the Kunkka, and you poke very effectively. Now, you can do 2 different things. You can kind of just YOLO in I would say here, when his Glimmer Cape is ending, he should probably kite out, just because he'll lack a bit of health. So he should probably goo and then turn his back here. It's okay. Well, he would have turned around, but unfortunately got pushed in. He has to sort of kite the outside of the fight, as not getting all in here. He's got a really easy shard usage. He should throw it in the middle here. Okay. Pretty unoptimal. BZM is just, you know, he's just not the GOAT. There's not much you can do about that. Should have thrown it in the middle, but still, he's obviously prioritizing just trying to kill off this Kunkka. Using the Glimmer for movement speed, that's pretty based. All right, maybe he is the GOAT. And they win the fight. See, I mean, the main purpose of Bristle is pretty straightforward. You're just giving vision in the team fights, and then using the axe to farm, using the shard to farm. And the thing is, if you don't have a Coddle, guys, you will have to buy quite a lot of mana. Keep in mind, in terms of neutral items, he even has mana regen with Coddle. I think a big part of that is just getting that 10% magic resist this game. Is just incredibly useful, right? So he might have taken this even if it didn't have some mana regen component, but yeah, it's a hero where you super need mana regen. So, poking out the beast, they actually might be able to kill him. Look at his damage. Because a Beastmaster has no armor. This is a 9 armor hero. Another reason why I love this matchup for Bristle. Until there's a Shivas, terrible matchup for Beast. 0 armor, down to -6. He's taking 26% more than pure damage from the Bristle. And with Sanjin Yasha online, this game is getting scary. It's at the point where you're not really going to kill this Bristleback, right? And when you can't kill Bristleback, it is probably one of the best Dota heroes because it kills objectives and it's fast. So you can't just ignore it, you know? Like a lot of heroes, when they're super far ahead, for instance, like a Viper, you can maybe just ignore that guy, right? Just kind of run around him, play around him. But the Bristle, look, he's taking the tier 2. You might be like, why can't I see shit? This is seen red. He activates it, which gives you 50% bonus to the movement speed and to the damage that you're getting for 6 seconds. So he's hitting for 500. It was actually more than that. It was like 550. And so next up, he's queuing up the Lotus, which I think is pretty reasonable this game. There's going to be like an Atos from Muerta. There's going to be Roar from Beastmaster. There's X from Kunkka. I honestly would maybe just like to see some sort of... I'm not even kidding. I think Heart is fully reasonable this game. There's no Vessel. And they just absolutely will not have the damage to kill you. I would like to see a Heart. I think Lotus is fine as it gives you some armor, right? You do lack armor with this item build-up, and I think that's why a lot of people will go for AC or for Lotus. Lotus being very common just because you're frontlining, you're going to reflect a lot of spells, which is extremely, extremely annoying. But yeah, in this team fight, this is what's so good about BZM, man. Like, look at this sequence. They go to push top, right? Takes the tower, proceeds to go to the top tier 3, poking Muerta, trying to force her ult. Actually, she didn't even have it. Threatening the objective. And then immediately, they back off, scan, reading the smoke wraparound. They read this. I don't know who scanned it, but BCM immediately understands what it means. I'm getting in there. Hairballs from no vision, hits the Beast, canceling his blink. Now Beast is in a hellish position because it's like, he doesn't have a BKB, he's stuck, can't blink, and he has to roar defensively. And now there is no team fight. Tundra can literally YOLO into the enemy team. There is no way they can fight without Beast tags. There's no way they have damage. As this fight immediately wraps up, and with Beast and no roar, they can absolutely go hit the top building. I actually don't know why they don't here. I'm really not sure. I feel like there is nothing stopping them. Maybe they just felt that they could do some sort of like pickoff play as the Coddle's just gonna set up in the bot lane. Yeah, I mean, maybe that was the idea. It's not exactly clear, because I do feel like they could have just taken a Rax there. Perhaps this is the safer play. You know, you can just kind of play it slow, hit your level 20, and level 20, insanely broken on Bristle, 20 quill stack damage. If you don't buy an Ags, you shouldn't take it. You should take health regen. So if you're just like a Vanguard plus, a Halberd plus S and Y into like AC, then you should take HP regen, as it's very good with S and Y, and it just makes sense on this hero. You have a bit of a sustain issue, right? This hero, actually, I would say its biggest flaw, ever since they nerfed Bloodstone, is the fact that it doesn't have Spell Eye still, right? You just kind of lack that entirely. I actually like the idea of Revenant's Brooch on this hero. Honestly, I feel like it's probably pretty good. And again, once you've hit this lead, you can kind of just run into areas. I mean, you'll see it just runs, again, into this Beastmaster. Another defensive roar. Poor guy, honestly. Poor guy. As he continues to barrel forward. Oh no, the Muerta. No. And so yeah, I mean, that's going to be about all. I just thought this would be a fun build to show you guys. I mean, Bristle is a hero that is very near and dear to my heart. It's one of my favorite heroes in Dota. Just such an explosive hero. has some insane amount of impact, right? Can just kind of get active, get dirty. And if the game is a little bit tougher, you can just AFK farm, right? Push in waves, split push. You're very fast, hard to kill. It's very annoying to like stop a Bristle from kind of just playing his game and recovering. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website, where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.